Hello, greetings. This is Matthew Sweigart here. Just sitting here in natural lighting today, just letting the natural light of the springtime come in the windows here. Late February. I guess it's late winter, not quite spring yet, but it's getting close. Anyway, the daffodillies are breaking through, and we are in the flow of talking about that trauma spectrum response. And you recall that a couple days ago, I talked about awareness, becoming peacefully aware, peacefully alert, and then being able to distinguish between safety and threat. These are really critical skills to develop because we could be jumping at paper tigers when it's really not a problem at all. Like, especially now to this week and this month in tax season, we're all jumping through hoops. And of course, this new president in the White House with all his jumbling up of the cabinet and the departments and all that, he's just changing the game. And so we're all jumping through lots of hoops and we're wondering what's going to happen next. And we don't know whether it's danger or threat right now or whether it's safety and help. Some people think it's helpful, other people think it's dangerous. So what are you going to do? It depends where you are, I guess. And then this brings us to the third stage of the trauma response, which is fight or flight, mobilizing a response. How can you mobilize an appropriate and effective response for the conditions that you're met with? So you want to maintain a nice peaceful alertness so you're aware. You need to be able to distinguish between whether it's threat or safety, and then take effective action. And sometimes that means you have to go into a fight. And sometimes you just flee. I'm just out of here. Out of here. Thanks. I'm not going to have this conversation. Or you freeze. You just freeze up, clam up. Remember, Mark Twain used to say, he's quoted actually as saying, this came out in my college years, I think, that it's better to sit quietly in a corner and look stupid than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. That was Mark Twain. He was quite pithy. Uh, so I'm opening my mouth. I'm removing all doubt. Like a fool I am, and I'll always be. I got a dream. I got a dream. Yeah, there we are. Do I fight? Do I freeze? Do I flee? Do I appease? Do I try to smile at you and ingratiate myself and appease to your higher sensitivities so that you won't eat me? I'd rather not be eaten today. Thank you very much. I remember I made a terrible joke to a person I met on the street one day, and I said something about, oh, I'd just like to eat you up. And she replied, I don't know if I'd like to be eaten. Okay. Anyway, I was being light and convivial, but for her, it was like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. So we have to watch our words these days. We have to be really careful with how we present ourselves, how we say things, whether that action that we're mobilizing for is effective or not. And then be able to make a discernment about whether it's effective or not. And sometimes you got to change your tactics in the middle of the flow. Right? So mobilizing a response. This is our wood element. So gallbladder and liver. Do I surge forward undaunted? Or do I retreat and yield with grace and honor? Will I be braggadocious or will I be milk toast? Hmm. And milk toast is generally considered pejorative. At least it was in a certain era. But it's pretty tasty. I'm gonna dunk that donut. Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts made a fortune based on that idea of milk toast, didn't they? Well, Dunkin' Donuts anyway. I don't know about toast. Anyway, this is my idea here today is to share with you this idea of mobilizing for an effective response. Notice if you tend to be in fight or flight mode, like 99% of the time, when do you give yourself a chance to rest? When do you get a chance to determine whether the action you're taking is effective or not? Are you always in fight mode? Are you always in flee mode? Are you always in freeze mode? Are you always in fawn mode? Yeah. Take some time with that. We're going to do some practices in our challenge next week, and we're going to focus in on this, and we're going to see just where am I? And did I get thwarted in my youth? Was I not allowed to fight? Was I not allowed to flee? You remember those board games that you played with your siblings, perhaps, or your cousins, or your mother, for heaven's sake. I remember mom used to play us in Scrabble, and she'd always win. Well, for heaven's sakes, the lady was a whiz. She was a master. She did the New York Times crossword puzzle and like beat it regularly. And then she played us in Scrabble. Of course she won. We were kids. Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but I'm going to let that be the video log for today. We're going to practice these skills so we get better, knowing that our responses can be effective to help us reach the goal that we're seeking. Okay? Can you reach that goal effectively and efficiently? Stay tuned. See you again tomorrow. Bye.